Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about being unique and being you. Obviously everybody is unique, and maybe that isn't super obvious, but just looking physically, we're all unique. But even deeper than that, spiritually, on a soul level, on an intellectual level, we all possess different talents and gifts and different qualities from one another. Nobody is the same, except maybe twins or identical twins, but even at that, everybody has their own unique qualities. This also doesn't mean, that everybody's special. If you say, everybody is special to an extent, but by that, if everybody's special, then nobody's really special. And I think there's a lot of freedom in that. And I've talked about this before, about comparison and about not doing things for other people, not looking at other people and thinking, oh, I wish I was them, I wish I was living their life. When you're constantly trying to live someone else's life or be someone else, you're not going to ever truly feel like you're truly living. Going back to fulfillment, admiring someone and their work ethic, their personality, their lifestyle, whatever it is, that's one thing. But when you completely try to be that person and you think that you don't really have anything unique to offer, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. And yeah, some people have to put more effort into things. Some people aren't born as talented. But I think talent in general is just stupid, in the sense that there's so many talented people out there, extremely talented people. But if you don't realize your potential, if they don't realize, that they have this talent, there's basically, who cares about the talent? Who cares if they have this talent if they're not using it? Whereas someone that maybe doesn't possess a more natural talent, if they work hard enough, and not always, not everybody will, but for most cases, if you work hard enough at something, you're going to have talent at something. And so, kind of on this subject, I was looking at a quote on Google earlier, and I was just looking up quotes and looking at things, because that's kind of something I like doing, is I just like to feel inspired every day. And I saw a quote by Anonymous, and it said, I think something like, being the best is great because you're the number one, but being unique is greater because you're the only one. And I think there's a lot of wisdom in that, because a lot of people are, if you're not trying to be someone else, you're trying to be the best at something. You're trying to be, you're always striving, oh, I'm so critical on myself, towards myself, I'm so perfectionistic, having this oh, I have to be the best, I'm in competition with people. I think healthy competition is great when it comes to games. I'm definitely very competitive in games or sports, things like that. But in life, you're not competing. Maybe in some situations for a grade point average. There are certain grade systems in certain countries, and maybe even in the US, that actually put people against each other, in the sense that, oh, one person's going to be the best. But in life, in general, there may be a best, but a lot of this stuff is subjective. And when we're competing with other people and we're trying to lower other people or be like someone else, you're doing yourself a disservice. By trying to be someone else, you're not realizing your unique gifts and qualities. And maybe you have very similar gifts and qualities to that person, but you should do it. You should take inspiration from people. You know, you can take certain things, and I'm all about that. I take inspiration all the time. And I get things here and there from different people. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be myself. I'm not going to try to be someone else, because I know that there are certain things that, you know, either I won't ever be, and I don't really like to say that. It's more of I don't want to be. And when you're in competition with other people, and you push them down, and I mean, I've definitely experienced this, where people think, oh, there's not enough for everybody, so I need to lower this other person, I need to bash this other person, I need to push them down to the ground so I can step on top of them and get to the top. That mentality may work in some circumstances, maybe in the corporate world, maybe in whatever industry, but at the end of the day, I truly believe that whatever industry you're in, whatever lifestyle you have, you do not need to compete with someone else. And in fact, the person you need to compete with the most is yourself. The person that you need to compare yourself the most is yourself. You need to take a good hard look at yourself in the morning, in a mirror, wherever it is, be alone with yourself. Whatever this moment of realization is for you, whatever you feel most, I was about to say most comfortable with, but I don't really like comfort in general. I do like comfort in a lot of ways. I think I think a lot of people, they want to stay comfortable, but I've trained myself to not want to be comfortable, to always want to grow and change. And when I see that comfort in other people, where they're okay being where they are, that, you know, some people, I'm not trying to lower other people for feeling like that's their life. Not everybody's going to want to do bigger things in their life, and that looks different for everybody. Bigger for me is different than bigger for you, because we are all unique. But I really don't, at the end of the day, and I know I say that phrase a lot, like feeling too comfortable. There has to be something that it's not, you know, having new things all the time. I'm fine, you know, going through things, but I always want to feel like I'm growing, and I want to see that with the people that are in my life. I realized this, you know, pretty recently. I've realized this before, but basically all of my close friends, they all have this drive within them, and it looks differently for everybody, and maybe they're not at the same levels, but they're all improving themselves. They're all striving for, you know, lofty things. And again, lofty can mean something different for you and for me and for them, but they're doing those things. And, you know, sometimes, myself included, I do find myself comparing myself to others. I do find myself thinking, oh, I wish I had this lifestyle, I wish I did this. But you just have to go out and do it. I was about to say the F word, which I have said on this channel, but I want to try to dial back using profanities, even though I do. It's become a bad habit in real life. I used to not cuss at all, and then in college it was just like, I'm just gonna let loose and cuss. But I think you don't really have to do that. But just to drive the point home, be yourself. Be the youest you there is. And if someone doesn't like that, good for them. Just say bye. And this goes for friendships, this goes for relationships, this goes for family members. And it's harder with family members, and I'm not saying just like throw them aside, but you need to know where you stand with people. And you need to know that people are going to put limitations on you, because especially if you're able to be controlled, if you're able to be persuaded. If you aren't sure with yourself about who you are, and this is not a, oh, wake up one morning, I just know myself so well. It's a constant journey, and I'm definitely still on the journey of finding who I am. I've obviously made mistakes, and you're going to continue to make mistakes. I'm going to continue to make mistakes. But when you become more grounded in who you are, when people try to sway you to do certain things, you can listen to them, you can take it in, and it could be hard. You may debate about it, but do what's best for you. Trust your intuition, and this doesn't mean you have to be an intuitive to trust your intuition. Trust that gut feeling that you have inside of you, and if you don't have it, I think everybody does to a certain extent, but maybe do consult someone. But at the same time, you have to realize that people's intentions, they may be all, they could all be positive towards you. They may, because everybody sees you in a different light. Every single person, even yourself, will see you differently, because you're not seeing yourself. You're not astro projecting on yourself all the time. But yeah, so people will put things on to you that they want you to do. They will say, oh, Emily, I see you doing this job. I see you marrying this person. I see you, oh, you're gonna only do this. Oh, you're not gonna do that. People are gonna do that, and maybe they see a pattern with you. Maybe they feel like, oh, you did that in the past, so you're gonna do that in the future. Whatever it is, whatever their angle is, again, it could be all well and good, but at the end of the day, and again, I use that phrase again, but you have to be able to be one with yourself and realize that these are opinions. These are not truths. And maybe there are truths in the opinions, but you need to decide these things for yourself. Be your own unique person. Be grounded within yourself. Embrace that you're unique, but also embrace that we are all the same in many ways. And don't be in competition with anybody but yourself. And if you are in competition, again, games, whatever it is, there's times where it's fun to be in competition. But really, you are your only competition. You are the person that matters the most. And if you're religious, God as well. Or whatever higher being, the universe, God, whatever that is. But don't let other people tell you otherwise. And I don't know how people are going to feel from this video, but it is a constant journey. Again, I do not by any means think that I am perfect or that I completely do this all the time. I fall off the bandwagon, I fall off whatever, but I just you have to get yourself back into it and realize, yes, I can do this. And again, going back to my previous video, you may not always know how, and it's a process. And you may wake up I cannot speak, guys. You may wake up one morning, a year from now, a month from now, whatever time period, and think, wow, I've changed a lot, and good. Hopefully it was for a positive reason, but good. So I hope you guys are having a spectacular day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.